Mazer World! Are you ready? Are you ready to get into alignment with who you really are? Because it's time! It's time to boost your happiness, your relationships, your health, and of course, your finances. It's Elma here, and I invite you to listen today to another great episode from a Mazer podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about Wallace Wattles and his great book, The Science of Getting Rich. Today you will hear a lot of exciting stuff about the law of attraction and how to master it with the help of Wallace Wattles' core teachings and pieces of advice. So, are you tired of constantly struggling in your life and not getting what you want? Or do you want more money and success? It might be the time to change the course of your life. If you want to become successful in your business as well as personal relationships, then you should master the law of attraction. The best way to do that is to learn from the experts like Wallace Wattles. By tapping into these universal laws, you will be able to attract more wealth, a better career, and become confident and fulfilled. The law of attraction is the perfect technique for self-improvement and living up to your potential. In this podcast, you're going to learn the best tips from the law of attraction guru, Wallace Wattles, and powerful advice from his law of attraction books. You will also get to know about Wallace Wattles' quotes that will motivate you to begin this important change in your life. Now, let me tell you more about Wallace Wattles and his journey. Unfortunately, there isn't much that I know about Wallace D. Wattles, and he remains somewhat mysterious to this day. What I do know is that he was born in 1860 and worked as a professor. Wallace was a part of the New Thought, a movement that originated in America in the 1800s. The New Thought movement proposes a belief in infinite intelligence that exists in all of us and that our mental states can be manifested. Wallace Wattles was a big fan of this movement and truly lived by it. He practiced visualization techniques which had a great impact on his life. Because he loved writing, he visualized himself as a successful author and an influencer, and that's exactly what he became. Wallace Wattles wrote many popular books where he described his techniques in order to help others manifest successfully. People described him as an author who was very evolved spiritually and wants others to evolve and have a higher purpose. Although learning about Wallace Wattles is very important for your law of attraction work, getting advice from other teachers as well might be beneficial. You can find more about Wallace Wattles and other important resources if you go to amazer.me/05. Furthermore, let me tell you about the 3 most famous books by Wallace Wattles. The first one is The Science of Getting Rich. The second one is The Science of Being Well. And the third one is The Science of Being Great. These are the most famous Wallace D. Wattles books, also known as the Trilogy, and the reason why Wallace Wattles' books stand out from the rest is his approach to writing. In the introduction to his books, Wallace clearly states that he will not be providing the readers with theories, philosophies, and studies of metaphysics, but practical advice that can be used in everyday life. These 3 books are like manuals on how to succeed in life. Wallace also emphasizes that readers should not blindly trust everything that he says, but try it for themselves and see that the techniques work. Although reading the Law of Attraction books is very beneficial, learning the techniques through simple tips and tricks works better for some people. So talking about his most popular book, The Science of Getting Rich, Wattles offers practical advice for people who want to get rich. Wallace explains how money is necessary for personal development and that we should all strive to be wealthy. In The Science of Getting Rich book, he also states that there's nothing wrong with being rich and that all of us have the right to be as rich as we choose to be. It's one of the leading books on creating success and a manifesto by which you can live your life to achieve anything that you desire. This was a short The Science of Getting Rich summary, but hopefully you got a taste of one of the best Law of Attraction books. However, if you want to find out more about the techniques from this book, keep on listening. Also, if you're looking for simple, straightforward advice on how the Law of Attraction works and how to use it for your benefit, make sure to listen to these main Wallace Wattles core teachings and advice carefully. The first one is, you have the right to be rich. Although many people think that being modest is a virtue, the fact is that you cannot be successful if you're not rich. That's just the way the world works. In order to develop, self-improve, and rise to your full potential, you need money. So you should get rid of those subconscious beliefs that having a lot of money is somehow immoral or bad, and that you should be satisfied with having just enough to survive. Being rich enables you to improve mentally, physically, and spiritually. So just go for it. This is the core teaching of The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace Wattles. The second one is, there is a science behind getting rich. You're probably thinking, but getting rich is hard and complicated, and most people don't succeed in it. Wallace Wattles disagrees with that in his books. He writes that getting rich is an exact science, and it requires doing things in a certain way. That's why some people don't get wealthy, no matter how hard they try, while others do. Another great point in Wallace Wattles' teaching is that those who get really rich don't possess a special talent or a skill that you don't have. If you study rich people, you can notice that talented and intelligent people get rich, but there are also less talented and intelligent people with lots of money. Your profession is also irrelevant because you can get wealthy in any kind of business. Isn't that inspiring? The third one is the origin of wealth. You're probably wondering, where does all that wealth come from, and how do I get it? In his great book, The Science of Getting Rich, Wattles explains that there is an original substance that all things come from, including money and wealth. That is the first principle of the Science of Getting Rich book. Wallace D. Wattles teaches us that all substances are the result of thought. Every thought of form, held in thinking substance, causes the creation of the form, but always, or at least generally, along lines of growth and action already established. If you're interested in how to become rich, you might also be interested in You Were Born Rich, a book by Bob Proctor. You can find more about this book and other important resources if you go to amazer.me/05. The fourth one is the desire for increase. Every substance is programmed for growth, and since you are a part of everything, an intelligent substance, you are also designed to grow and increase. Your consciousness is constantly expanding and growing because every thought is followed by another thought. That also makes sense in the evolutionary perspective because we are driven to live longer, to create things that enable us to do that, and to simply evolve. This is also where money comes into play. We need it in order to express ourselves, create, and live longer. The fifth one is how riches come to you. You might be wondering, how do I actually attract things in my life using thoughts? Well, that new car you want is not going to simply appear out of thin air the second you think about it. But visualization is still an important law of attraction technique. Wallace Wattles practiced visualization techniques daily. The key is to imagine yourself having that thing that you want really vividly, whether it's more money, a new car, a new house, a better career, or a perfect relationship. The image has to be really clear and detailed. You also need to picture in your mind's eye that you already have it. So imagine yourself interacting with the thing you want and feel the emotion of having it. That's crucial for getting the law of attraction to work. Mastering how the law of attraction works is very important, and it's a good idea to get more specific advice from other influencers and gurus. Want to find out Wallace Wattles' mindset for success? Try this ultimate free tool to understand how Wallace Wattles and other law of attraction gurus manage to stay focused and attract everything they want into their life. Simply go to amazer.me/LOA to stay focused, and you will see how easy it is. The sixth one is having the right mindset. Expanding on the previous part, you need to be in the right mindset in order to manifest things. That means that you should visualize the thing you want very often. You might think that you need to practice concentration or force yourself to imagine what you want to manifest, but Wallace Wattles disagrees with that. He makes an interesting statement where he explains that if you truly want something, you won't need to force yourself to visualize it every day. Think about that for a moment. The seventh one is taking action. Although thoughts and visualizations are an important law of attraction technique, you also need to act. Simply having the right thoughts will not get you more money or success. This is what most people forget. Here's how Wallace Wattles explains it. But you must act in a certain way so that you can appreciate what is yours when it comes to you, so that you can meet the things you have in your picture and put them in their proper places as they arrive. An action you can take right now is learning about the law of attraction. Although reading books by Wallace Wattles is very important, you will benefit more if you get more tips from other great authors. The eighth one is being grateful. The final step in the law of attraction process, as advised by Wallace D. Wattles, is gratitude. This is what all law of attraction books emphasize. Being grateful not only increases your chance of manifesting, but also speeds up the process. Gratitude brings you closer to the source of all riches. Now here are 10 motivating Wallace Wattles quotes that I want you to listen to and try to adapt in your daily life. The first one is, success is becoming what you want it to be and is attained by applying your energies to your work, and you will apply your energies in exact proportion to the intensity of your desire. The second one is, the intensity of your desire will depend on the clearness with which you picture to yourself what you want to be. The third one is, you must get rid of the thought of competition. You are to create, not to compete for what is already created. The fourth one is, the very best thing you can do for the whole world is to make the most of yourself. The fifth one is, a thought is a substance producing the thing that is imagined by the thought. The sixth one is, there is an abundance of opportunity for the man who will go with the tide instead of trying to swim against it. The seventh one, do not wait for an opportunity to be all that you want it to be. The eighth one is, the purpose of life for man is growth, just as the purpose of life for trees and plants is growth. The ninth one, if you want to help the poor, demonstrate to them that they can become rich. Prove it by getting rich yourself. And the 10th one is, there is no reason for worry about financial affairs. Every person who wills to do so may rise above his want, have all he needs, and become rich. At last, I want to say that Wallace Wattles was truly amazing in his law of attraction coaching work. All of his advice is very practical and easy to follow. That's what makes him a great teacher. So even though learning about Wallace Wattles is very important for your law of attraction work, you can expand your knowledge and find out advice from other law of attraction teachers. You have just listened to another episode from a Mazer podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, if you want to find out Wallace Wattles' mindset for success, try this ultimate free tool by going to amazer.me/LOA, and you will understand how Wallace Wattles and other law of attraction gurus manage to stay focused and attract everything they want into their life. Until next time, stay Stay happy and keep manifesting your dream life.